2021, illegal immigrants from the Middle East, brought in by Belarusian dictator Alexander Lukashenko, stormed the Polish border. Border guards, police officers, and Polish soldiers heroically defended. Now they are facing charges for their heroic actions. Donald Tusk and his ruling team in the prosecutor's office have appointed a team of prosecutors in Siedlce who order the defenders of Poland's borders to be taken away in handcuffs at 6 in the morning. Gazeta Polska codziennie asked the district prosecutor's office in Siedlce whether the defenders of Poland's borders are being held accountable. It turns out that they are. Several of them have already been charged with, among other things, exceeding their powers. According to Law and Justice, this is scandalous and very dangerous. I demand that Prime Minister Donald Tusk dissolve the team of prosecutors who were appointed for what purpose? To bring charges against Polish army soldiers. And for what? For using weapons in defense of the Republic of Poland. One of these soldiers was handcuffed, charged, and the indictment was sent to court. 3 officers were charged with unauthorized use of physical force, service batons, and handheld incapacitating substance launchers, among other things. Looking at these photos, one might ask, how else could they defend themselves against an attack by immigrants supported by the Belarusian services? And why are they now being prosecuted for this by Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk's people? This is a man who spat on the Polish uniform for political gain, and when Tusk came to power, he did not hesitate to prosecute soldiers for defending our independence for political gain. Let us remember that this is a brutal hybrid war against Poland, using aggressive immigrants and Belarusian services. What we saw on the Polish-Belarusian border was a hybrid attack, difficult to imagine, by Alexander Lukashenko and the Belarusian authorities, who are supported by Russian forces. This attack was aimed at destabilizing the level of security in Poland, so the presence of the army, police, and additional border guard forces was certainly a requirement until a barrier could be built on the border. While the Polish services were defending the security of us all, Donald Tusk ridiculed the idea of building a border barrier and said the following about the immigrants sent by Lukashenko. These are poor people who are looking for their place on earth. Today, he is portraying himself as the defender of Polish soldiers. Hands off Polish soldiers. Donald Tusk is trying to morally blackmail his political opponents. Because if the Prime Minister of Poland writes, hands off Polish soldiers, he should say these words to himself in the mirror. Because it was Donald Tusk who attacked Polish soldiers when illegal immigrants were crossing the Polish border. Because at that time, he said that they were not dangerous migrants, but poor people looking for help and support. At a time when Poles stood united behind the Polish uniform, Donald Tusk assured them that the border with Belarus did not need to be defended. And when he came to power, he began to punish those who risked their lives and health for our security. It was when Donald Tusk took the reins of the government that investigations began to pour in, followed by charges not only against Polish soldiers, but also against Polish uniformed services in general, who guard the Polish border and ensure that we can feel safe. That is why maintaining the prosecutor's crackdown on soldiers and officers is very harmful. It is dangerous and harms Poland in 2 ways. Firstly, because soldiers are afraid to use their weapons, because they may face charges and accusations as a result. And secondly, because the aggressor knows this, which encourages them to attack Poland. Polish services deserve respect and support. This was given to them today by the new head of the National Security Bureau, Professor Sławomir Cęckiewicz, who met with soldiers and officers defending Poland's borders.